Kendra, and this is Hooked by Happenstance Makes Monday, episode number 10, County Fair 2017. Now, this episode is going to be a little different than some of the previous episodes. As you may have noticed, there was no episode last week. That is because I was busy preparing my entries for our county fair, as well as helping the rest of my family get their things together, 4-H and otherwise. So, there was just not enough time to do all the things. And this week, there's not really a word, so we're not going to talk etymology. We're just going to move on. The majority of today's episode is going to be me showing you all of the things I entered in the county fair, some of them which I finished in the last 2 weeks, some of them I finished earlier in the year. Most of them had never been on a Makes Monday video, though. So today we are going to begin by discussing what is currently on my hook. Since the fair has ended, what am I working on? Well, I decided that I have a lot of things that are in progress. I went through the past Makes Monday videos and looked at what I've started or been working on since this whole endeavor began 10 episodes ago, so 11 weeks. And I decided that I needed to try and finish some of those projects that are in process before I start adding more things. And also, since I'm working on Freak or Frog, my video series where I go and I look at my piles of whips that have been put in the naughty corner, and I decide whether I'm going to freak out and finish them, adding them to on my hook list, or whether I'm going to frog them and reclaim the yarn. I keep adding projects to my on my hook list through the Freak or Frog. So I need to really try and keep what I have going in check. So I decided that I would do that. One of the things I'm working on is this owl toy from Daisy Cottage Designs. It is made out of Red Heart Super Saver and a G hook. It had been till about like here, I think. So I basically just finished the head and closed it off. I obviously need to finish weaving in this end and make the eyes, and I'll probably put a bow on this one as well. So I just need to make the embellishments, and then this owl is done. The next thing that I have been working on is the chrysanthemum. Is the crochet chrysanthemum shawl. This is a Premier Designs pattern available for free on their website. And I am using the middle was Premier Yarns Sweet Rolls. And then the edging I'm actually making out of Red Heart Super Saver in the color Gray Heather. It makes this kind of wavy edge. I actually went down a hook size on the edging, and I have been using an eye hook for the rest of the pattern, and the pattern calls for you to use one hook throughout, an eye hook, but I just didn't feel like it was laying. I mean, it's supposed to be wavy, but it was not pretty wavy. So I went down and I'm using an H hook now along the edging. I have this one round and then one more round to finish it off, and it kind of makes like a florally looking thing on the edge. I have put a lot of time, or it feels like a lot of time, into the edging on this, and I'm just about halfway around because there are 159 of these little loops, and then in each of them you put 11 stitches. So it ends up taking a little while. But I think it'll be an interesting thing when it's done. So I will keep you up to date on what's happening with that. I also have done a little bit of moving around between which projects are in which bags to try and, you know, kind of make my best use of the real estate in them. This one is actually a bag that I got from our thrift store. I think it was less than $3. And it's good for a project bag. You can fit several things in here. It was nice when I was working my sweater. I actually had like all the yarn in here, but it also is just kind of a nice little handbag if you need it. Next is this top. It's called Clarice. It is by Kim Guzman, and it's available at her website, crochetkim.com, and it uses a G and an H hook. And this yarn, I have no clue what it is. I got it in a mill end bag from Joann's, but I'm very happy with it. It starts with this kind of top. It's worked top down, which I like because you were able to do the top and we put the sleeves in. As soon as I did the round to put the sleeves, I was able to try it on. And working my way down, I'm able to try it on all along the way to make sure that it fits my bust, which is usually the problem in patterns. So I will know if it's too big, too small, whatever, and I knew from the get-go that it was the right size on my shoulders. Sometimes that can be a problem too. To get things the right size across your bust, it makes the shoulders spread, and then they're like falling off, and that's not good. It's part of the problem with the way that patterns are frequently just mathed up, not necessarily shaped, constructed up to, you know, get to bigger sizes. So I've been working on that. I'm really enjoying the way that the shell pattern is coming out with this yarn, and I think this will be a nice top that I'll get a decent amount of wear out of. Both during the warmer weather, I can wear it by itself, or maybe with, I'll probably have to wear a tank top underneath it because we'll see how open the shells are. And then during the winter, I can wear a long sleeve shirt underneath it and wear it like over that. I might even, we'll see, just depending how long I make it, if I make it kind of tunic-y length or if I make it shorter. I haven't decided. It probably depends on how much energy I have when I get to that point in the project. Pick up my hook before I forget that it's down there and then go searching. Okay, so that is everything that is currently on my hook. Now, there are obviously a few other projects that are waiting to go back on my hook, but I'm not actively working on anything else as of yet. But there will be at least one new project added here soon. So, on to what is off my hook. The first thing that's off my hook was not fair related. It is the We Hook Wednesday pocket number 8. It is completed. I made this out of Red Heart Super Saver in the color Wildflower using an eye hook. The pattern is available on the HookedByHappenstance.com blog, where you will find all of the We Hooked Wednesday patterns. Now, the fair. I'm just going to go, I have a whole Sterilite tote full of items. I entered a total of 16 things. One in the floral category, it was an arrangement of artificial flowers. 3 things in visual arts. So that leaves me with 12 items that went into the fiber arts division. I had 3 second places and 9 firsts. I did find out, I don't remember if I've mentioned this in any other videos or anywhere, that they had not initially awarded a grand champion. There's supposed to be a grand champion fiber art, thread art in the open class category. And the judge did not leave a grand champion, so they did not put a grand champion ribbon on anything. Well, they asked around anyways. I found out that I did not get it. Somebody else did, but I was told that my stole would have gotten reserve grand champion, which is like the second grand champion level, which is what they do for 4-H. Like, there's 2 levels. There's the very, very top person, and there's one below them. But they don't do that in open class. There's only 1 grand champion awarded per category. I did not make it, but that's all right. I'm still after that purple ribbon, though. Someday. So, let's look at what we got. Oh, I was also a little annoyed that there are no comments on the cards for how many items I entered. Ordinarily, the judges, let's see if I can grab one. So here's like this is on my thing. They had it pinned on one of my Afghans. So it has like the information and then the divisions and stuff, and then they staple your ribbon to it. And ordinarily on the back here, or most years, there will be comments, which is helpful, especially on the items that you do not get a blue ribbon on, to know, like, what was wrong with it. But there's nothing. So all that work and no comments. So this is the stole that they said would have got reserve grand champion. I've showed it to you before, but I have blocked it, and if you remember from the other videos, you can see how it opened up so nice. It's light and airy. This was made out of some mystery mill ends, but I'm really excited to wear it. Here's what it looks like from the back. So it's got a nice light weight to it. I do like too how it falls low enough on my arm to like cover up from a chill, but not so low that I'm fighting with it. And it is long enough that, you know, you could tie it and then shawl pin it so that it would actually stay there. And there's several other ways I've kind of figured out that you could probably style it. It's a little bit too round to wear this way. Like, it just kind of ends up looking, I don't know, it's too much around your neck, like the shaping is. But it is plenty big to stay on your shoulders worn the other direction. So I'm looking forward to this, and this will get added to my personal collection of shawls. The next thing here is this wreath, which I guess this went into visual arts. This counted for the category of wreath not made of flowers. So I crocheted this cover, and then these are little balls of yarn, and as you could say, it says have a ball. I made one of these around Christmas, and I gave it to my dad for Christmas because he likes puns, so have a ball was a punny thing for him. And I decided that I wanted one too, so I made it for myself and so that I could enter that particular category. This will go into the box of winter decor and come out at that time. Next thing is this baby Afghan. This is a design of my own. I do believe it has been posted on Instagram though when I finished it. I am writing up the pattern. Actually, the pattern is written and it's even formatted. I just need to film a tutorial video, and then the simple V-stitch baby blanket will be out in the world. So keep your eyes out for that. I made this out of Bernat Baby Sport in the color Pajama Party. And I really like how the squishiness, it's a very nice texture. It's breathable, but still kind of, I think it's a nice spring or fall blanket. It's kind of that in-between weight. Next, we have an item that got a second place. And this is my pie pot holders. And for some reason, they have hung them together on a paper clip because apparently they were worried, I don't know about losing them. But this is the one that you have not seen on the podcast yet. And it is just made out of a Lily Sugar and Cream pattern to make lattice work. I think it's called the Cherry Pie Hot Pad. And I liked how they turned out. The first one was a little fiddly working the lattice, kind of like if you make an actual lattice pie. It's very fiddly to do. But the second one went a lot better because the instructions don't tell you like which specific places to loop your lattice through, because you make the lattice and then you have to obviously sew it on. Well, those instructions were not very detailed. So in the first one I had to figure out the math kind of on how to make it all look right and even. And then the second one, I didn't have to reinvent the wheel. I just did the same things. So that made it easier. I would definitely recommend this pattern though to anybody looking for a hot pad pattern. Another first place was for my doily. Oh goodness, how do they have this pinned on here? Okay. Now, I was surprised. Ordinarily, there are multiple doily entries, and most of them are by older women who have more experience, obviously, making doilies. I am not a doily maker. But there was only one other person that entered. She is not particularly old. And her and I both made doilies that were not made out of white crochet cotton, which is very surprising because the other years I've entered this category, and actually every year I've gone to the fair, all of the doily entries are these gigantic, very elaborate, but very traditional looking doilies. Mine, not so much. But this is my doily, and I forget the name of the pattern. I made it as part of a crochet along with a group on Ravelry, whose name I also forget. Bad podcaster. But it's been a while since I made this, but I really like it, and it makes me very happy. And so it just kind of has been sitting on several different tables in our house. What I think I might actually like to do with it is frame it, and then I could hang it on the wall. But we'll see. It does just make me so happy just being around. And it might just continue to be around. The next thing that got a blue ribbon is this tote bag, which is actually available in my Etsy shop. So if you would like to be the proud owner of a large Hooked by Happenstance handled bag, which has won a blue ribbon at the county fair, it is available for $18 over on Etsy. So check that out if that's a thing you're interested in. But I am very happy with the bag. I mean, it's not perfect. It's very close to perfect, and clearly it met all the standards necessary, but, you know, when you're your own worst critic, you can find little things that bother you, but clearly the judge was okay with them, so that is good, and I'm proud enough of this that it would happily go live with somebody else. It's just, you know how it can be. Like, you're just hypercritical of your own work, or at least I'm hypercritical of my own work. Next thing that got a first place ribbon is the two-piece baby set, which currently only has one of its pieces. That's really funny. Oh, here they are. Okay. So, this, I believe, is called the Sugar and Spice by Sue Childress. This pattern came out of a Crochet World magazine, and it is just this little baby bonnet, and I put the buttons on. This was in some of the first episodes I made of the podcast, but it was just needing buttons. Buttons have been added. And then there's the little bitty slipper booty things. And I also put their little buttons on. Now when I went to put the buttons on, I realized that I had apparently made two of them the same foot. So I had to tear out the top round and then just recrochet it the other direction, so that way it was the right way. But they're pretty adorable, and these will probably go out at my local craft shows and maybe find their way into the Etsy shop. We'll see. Because I personally don't have any great use for a two-piece baby set. I primarily just made it because it is a category at the fair, and it also kind of led into my hope that I can find one pattern in each of my Crochet World magazines that I would like enough to make, and then actually make it. So moving on to the next thing in the box, I think many of you have been waiting to see this. It is my Havana shirt dress, which got a first place. Now, I should probably mention that most of these, in fact, like almost all of them, were unopposed. So it's not like I had stiff competition to go up against, but even in some of the ones I was unopposed in, I still got some second places. So it is based on skill as well as competition, but you could, if you had competition, both do really good work and have to be placed first and second. Anyways, neither here nor there. The Havana shirt dress. It is all done. Isn't she pretty? So now I'm going to stick a clip in here that I filmed the night I finished it so you can actually see it on me. So here it is. Here is my finished Havana shirt dress. Bag. It's got like a pineapple-y, kind of a pineapple and fan kind of thing. Super comfortable, made out of some mystery yarn I got in one of the mill end bags from Joanne. It used an H and an F hook, and yeah, I'm super happy. And it's with a paid pattern by Crystallized Designs, but yay, it's so spinny. And then underneath I just have this is a brown, like a, I don't know, like rayon or some kind of non-natural fiber skirt that is store-bought. And I'm just wearing it like a slip, so I have like it right up under my bra so that it covers all the parts that have holes. And there's my dog. So it's done. Next thing in my box is my Tiny Textures blanket. This is a pattern that I have written, and it will be coming out shortly. This will be coming out during August, when I am going to do Veda, so vlog every day in August here on Hooked by Happenstance. Every day in August there will be a video. I figure that's a good plan since Vlogust is what got me into making videos last year and into vlogging. I will do Veda this year to do a video every day on this channel. So it is just this nice textured blanket. This is a full-size Afghan. I have made a smaller baby Afghan size as well, and there will be instructions for both sizes coming out shortly. And this is made out of Premier Yarn Sweet Rolls. I want to say the color is like Spearmint Pop or something like that. I have it written down somewhere, but I really like this blanket. I have not decided whether that's going to become a Christmas gift for somebody or if it's going to go for sale. It might go for sale, and then if it doesn't sell in a certain period of time, it'll become a Christmas gift. I don't know. The next thing coming out of the box is a toy which you have seen, a toy which received second place, with no comments for me to know why, but it is this monkey made out of the jade color. Now, Steve and I were talking about it, and I have entered toys before and gotten second places on them. I don't understand always their reasoning. Perhaps it is things like when the ears are not completely symmetrical or the face is not symmetrical, but I try to put the parts on the toys. When you're looking at them, you want the toy to have a fun and whimsical look on its face. So you kind of like tip its head so that it's looking at you in a friendly way. So I don't know if those sort of things are what it is, because again, there are no comments. I made a point this year of making sure that I had a toy that had really nice tension, that the stuffing was not really visible through. So I don't know, but it did get a second place ribbon. Next, we have the sweater category, and this is the cardigan I made for my daughter. I forget if it was before or after I started podcasting. This is made out of Red Heart Super Saver in the color Mulberry Mix, and it is using, oh goodness, it's a velvet acorn pattern. Starts with, oh, the Cambry, something like that, cardigan. And she's been wearing this, and I took it from her, or took it back so I could use it for the fair entry, and she had been wearing it without buttons. She has a second one of these in a burgundy color that has slightly longer sleeves, and that one has a button, and she does use it with the button, but she wanted this one with shorter sleeves, so that's what I did. Shorter sleeves, and it had no buttons, but I knew that that was going to be frowned upon because it has this eyelet edging which is used as buttonholing, even though it's not like specifically buttonholes, if that makes sense. But I did find these buttons that I had in stash and went ahead and added those 2 buttons. So it does close, but she says, I'm never going to use those. I said, that's fine. Next is another second place, and I agree, I would have given the second place too. This is a rug. This is the second year I've entered a rug, and I've gotten second place both years, unopposed. Next year, my goal is to get a blue on a rug. This rug does not lay exactly as flat as it should. This is another one of my designs. I can't even think of the name. Is that terrible? It's my own design. It is the chocolate box mat, maybe. It is one of the designs I made for the Crochet Hangout, and there's a video tutorial to make this mat on YouTube, and there is a pattern available also through the Crochet Hangout, but I am not associated with the Crochet Hangout. I just made the patterns for them. Anyways, this is the mat, and now that I have entered it and such, I will probably start using it in our bathroom because it doesn't bother me if it's not completely flat. Or I might pull out the edging. Really, I just need to reattach the edging, and I think 1 or 2 of the stitches is either in the wrong place, or I need to go up a hook size to make it a little looser so that it will lay nicer. So I'll have to decide. But this can now go into rotation. It's been sitting, waiting for the fair. And the last thing in my box is another first place, and this is a set of placemats, a set of 4, with a design that I have come up with and will also be coming out in August. It is called, now that I have gotten a blue ribbon, the Billowing Blue Ribbon Placemat. Billowing because this yarn is Billowing Blues by Peaches and Cream, and I thought that it kind of looks like it's billowing. These were kind of meant to be kind of wavy. So you can either put it on your table this direction with the waves and the eyelet part at the top, or you can flip it and put the square part at the top and have the dressy bit toward you on the table, either way. So there's a set of 4 of these, and like I said, the pattern will be coming out here soon. Now, this one, I made 4 of them, and 1 of them has been washed, and the other 3 have not. This one Steve found. Apparently it had fallen off and fallen on the floor. He picked it up and he threw it in the laundry. He washed it and hung it on the line. And I had intentionally not washed them because I didn't want to deal with if they shrunk at all, which cotton yarn can do. I didn't want to have to block them. So that one I just like pulled and stretched and steamed it out and it was fine. But 3 of them have not been washed and 1 of them has. And they're obviously all in the same pattern. So that is everything from the County Fair 2017. I just wanted to share it all with you so that you could see what I've been up to and what I will probably be making a goal for next year. I'm already thinking out what I want to make, though I don't know. The thing right after a big event like that is I start to think next year I just don't want to enter anything. It's not worth the hassle. And then as it gets closer, pretty soon I'm like, I want to enter all the things. So I'm going to enter some of the things next year. We will see which ones. But I am already kind of keeping in mind maybe making some things with the intention of them ending at fair projects. So that is everything that I've completed. I did add just a wee bit of yarn to my stash this week. This is the picture. These additions came through my Freak or Frog number 2. The video is available on the channel and there will be a link on the end screen. Went through a box that had been sitting next to my computer. It had been on the cabinet behind my computer, and then when I switched that out and turned it into a bookcase, the projects that just kind of ended up there all had to go somewhere. They went in a box. Now that box has been dispersed. Yarn that was already just in its yarny state went away. I frogged a bunch of things, as you will see there, and I added a few projects to my strung out list of a designy nature, designs that I want to work on, but I don't intend to get them done like super quick. They're going to be kind of long term. I added 1 item to my on my hook list. There is a scarf that I actively want to work on in this next week. And then obviously there was some more yarn that is going back into stash because good yarn does not belong in bad projects. That is everything for this week. I hope that you enjoyed it. On the end screen, as I said, there is a link to the Freak or Frog video from this week, as well as a link to my Etsy shop if you are interested in that blue ribbon tote bag. It's available, as well as the beachy update from this last week. So I will see you all next Monday. Bye!